Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your trust was betrayed and your hard-earned money misused? Picture this. You've finally decided to renovate your home. You've spent countless hours planning, dreaming, and envisioning the perfect space. You hire a contractor, a professional who's supposed to turn your dreams into reality. You discuss your ideas, your plans. He seems to understand, seems to share your vision. You come to an agreement. $100,000, a significant sum, but you're investing in your home, your future. This money is meant for appliances, cabinets, flooring, fixtures, and hardware. All the things that will make your house a home. You hand over the money, trusting that this professional, this contractor, will use it as agreed. You're not just giving him a check, you're giving him your trust, your dreams. You're anticipating the day you'll walk into your newly renovated home, the day when all the planning and dreaming becomes real. But then comes the unthinkable. The contractor, the professional you trusted with your money, your dreams, didn't hold up his end of the deal. The appliances, cabinets, flooring, fixtures, and hardware you paid for, they never materialized. The vendors were never paid. Your $100,000, your hard-earned money, has vanished into thin air. Your home renovation project, your dream, is now at a standstill. Your house is unfinished, uninhabitable. You're left living in expensive, short-term rentals, a stranger in your own life. And the contractor? He's not only broken your trust, but he's also broken down in tears, confessing that he used your money to pay off his own debts. But what happens when the contractor doesn't fulfill his end of the deal? You're left with a home renovation nightmare, a $100,000 question, and a choice. Do you stay quiet, hoping he'll eventually pay you back? Or do you report him, potentially putting him out of business but protecting others from the same fate? This is the home renovation nightmare. Imagine the shock when the protagonist discovered his contractor's betrayal. It was a regular day in the midst of a home renovation project. Our protagonist had been making payments for appliances, cabinets, flooring, fixtures, and hardware, all to his interior designer. But something was amiss. The vendors for these items hadn't received their payments. The protagonist, perplexed and concerned, decided to confront his contractor. As he brought up the issue, the contractor's facade fell. Tears welled up in his eyes as he confessed his transgression. The money, amounting to a staggering $100,000, had not been used as intended. The contractor had instead used it to pay off his other business expenses. A shocking revelation indeed. This act of betrayal was not only an abuse of trust, but also a misuse of funds meant for a purpose that was now left unfulfilled. The renovation project, which was supposed to transform the protagonist's house into a dream home, was now at a standstill. The appliances, cabinets, flooring, fixtures, and hardware all remained unpaid for, their delivery halted. The protagonist's dream home was now nothing more than an unfinished structure, a shell of what it was meant to be. And the cost of this standstill? It was more than just the $100,000. The protagonist was now forced to live in expensive short-term rentals in California, a situation that was both inconvenient and financially draining. The contractor's tears and confession painted a picture of desperation, but they also revealed a harsh truth. The contractor, it seemed, was in deep financial trouble himself. He was unable to repay the protagonist, and the only way he could possibly do so was if he managed to stay in business. Suddenly, the protagonist was left in a costly limbo, pondering his next move. Faced with a dilemma, the protagonist was torn between two difficult choices. On one hand, the idea of staying quiet and persistently pursuing the contractor for repayment was a viable option. The reasoning behind this was straightforward. The contractor could only repay if his business remained afloat. But this approach required a considerable amount of patience and perseverance. There was a very real risk of the protagonist being strung along indefinitely, waiting for a repayment that might never come. Additionally, there was a moral question to consider. By staying quiet, the protagonist would be allowing the contractor to potentially repeat this behavior with other unsuspecting customers. On the other hand, the idea of reporting the contractor and potentially putting him out of business was also on the table. This choice carried with it the weight of justice and the protection of others who might fall victim to the same deceit. But this action also had its drawbacks. The contractor, once out of business, would be unlikely to repay the money owed. Reporting the contractor could also lead to a lengthy and costly legal process. And yet, there was a certain satisfaction in the idea of holding the contractor accountable for his actions, a sense of vindication that might not come with the first option. In the face of these two options, The protagonist found himself at a crossroads. Each path had its own set of challenges and potential rewards. Each decision carried with it a unique set of consequences. The protagonist had to weigh the potential for repayment against the desire for justice, the need for closure against the hope for restitution. A tough choice to make, isn't it? But what is the right course of action? Dealing with a dishonest contractor can be a trying experience. It's like navigating a ship through a storm with no compass. You're caught between a rock and a hard place, not knowing whether to press on or retreat. Let's delve deeper into the psyche of this contractor. There's a high chance you're dealing with a narcissistic personality. This individual doesn't see your hard-earned money as a trust, but as a lifeline to bail him out of his debts. To him, your financial losses are insignificant compared to his survival. This person is a master manipulator. He expertly uses his tears as a weapon to evoke sympathy, to distract you from the harsh truth, and to buy himself more time. But remember, those tears were not for you. They were for himself, the result of being caught in the act, not remorse for his actions. But what can you do? You can't be a soft touch anymore. You need to assert yourself. Show him that you're not going to be strung along for months, even years. You need to ignite a figurative fire under him, signaling that you mean business. You have to let him know that you're ready to go to the local press, the district attorney's office, the Better Business Bureau, and even the police if he doesn't repay your money within a set period. Send him a registered letter establishing a firm deadline and outlining the consequences if he fails to meet it. This is not just about getting your money back. This is about standing up for yourself, about showing him and others like him that you are not to be messed with. You're not just another soft touch who can be exploited and then discarded. This is a face-off of confidence. You need to threaten his reputation and his ability to continue his business to make him treat you as a serious contender. He chose you as a soft touch. It's time to prove him wrong. So stand tall, stand firm, and remember, it's time to make the contractor understand the gravity of his actions. Armed with knowledge and determination, the protagonist needed to explore his options. With the harsh truth laid bare, it's time to take action. Going to the press, contacting the Better Business Bureau, and even considering legal action are all potential solutions. But let's delve into these possibilities a bit more. Going to the press might seem drastic, but it's an effective way to put pressure on the contractor. It not only threatens his reputation, but also warns potential victims about his business practices. However, this should be done with caution, as it can escalate the situation and potentially lead to legal implications. Contacting the Better Business Bureau is another viable option. This nonprofit organization is designed to advance marketplace trust. Filing a complaint here can lead to an investigation, and if the contractor is found guilty, it could significantly impact his standing in the industry. Legal action, while it can be expensive and prolonged, is another route to consider. But before you head down this path, it's crucial to understand the implications, both financially and emotionally. If the contractor truly doesn't have the funds to repay, a legal battle might end up costing more than the initial loss. Regardless of which route is chosen, establishing a firm deadline for repayment is paramount. It's crucial to put this in writing, preferably in a registered letter. This not only sets a clear expectation, but also serves as additional evidence if the matter escalates to court. Remember, you're in a face-off of confidence. The contractor saw you as an easy target, but it's time to prove him wrong. Show him that you're not to be messed with and that you're not taking this theft lightly. But here's the question that lingers on everyone's mind. But are these actions enough to ensure repayment? Well, there's no surefire guarantee, but taking these steps could increase the likelihood of getting your money back, or at least prevent others from falling into the same trap. In the world of home renovations, written contracts are a homeowner's best friend. This piece of paper can serve as your shield and sword in the battlefield of home improvement projects. It defines the rules of engagement, sets expectations, and provides a clear path to resolution should disputes arise. A written contract is more than just an agreement. It's a detailed blueprint of your project, laying out the specifics of the work to be done, the timeline for completion, and the agreed-upon budget. It is a tangible representation of your contractor's commitment to you and your project. But a contract alone isn't enough. A comprehensive payment history is equally important. It's crucial to keep a record of all transactions between you and your contractor. This includes the initial deposit, progress payments, and final payments. It's also wise to note the date, amount, and method of each transaction. This documentation can serve as evidence if your contractor fails to deliver on their promises. Regular communication with your contractor is another key aspect. Keeping the lines of communication open ensures that you're updated on the progress of the project. It also allows you to voice your concerns or make changes as needed. This ongoing dialogue can help prevent misunderstandings and can serve as additional evidence of your contractor's commitments and their fulfillment or lack thereof. In the unfortunate event that you do find yourself in a dispute with your contractor, there's a mechanism in place to help you resolve it without resorting to expensive and time-consuming legal action: arbitration. This is a process where a neutral third party helps mediate a resolution between you and your contractor. It's a cost-effective way to reach a final agreement without stepping into court. In the end, the power of a written contract lies in its ability to protect your interests and hold your contractor accountable. It's your first line of defense in ensuring that your home renovation project goes as planned. But how can such situations be prevented in the future? Prevention is always better than cure, especially when it comes to home renovations. Now let's delve into the preventive measures you can take to protect yourself from such predicaments. First and foremost, verify the contractor's license and insurance. This is essential, as it not only validates the credibility of the contractor, but also provides you with a safety net in case of any unforeseen circumstances. Next, resist the urge to pay for services upfront. It might seem convenient, but it leaves you vulnerable. Instead, adopt a payment plan that aligns with the progress of the work. This way, you can ensure that your hard-earned money is put to good use and not misappropriated. Another crucial measure is maintaining a written record of all transactions. This includes contracts, receipts, and even correspondence. It's easy to overlook this in the digital age, but having a paper trail can make all the difference when disputes arise. Remember, if it's not in writing, it might as well not exist in the eyes of the law. Also, consider involving a third party, like a lawyer or a trusted friend, to oversee the project's financial aspects. This adds an extra layer of security and ensures that all transactions are transparent and above board. Lastly, listen to your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore red flags such as constant delays, excuses, or a lack of transparency. It's better to address these issues early on than to find yourself in a home renovation nightmare. In conclusion, while these measures cannot guarantee a problem-free renovation, they significantly reduce the risk of falling prey to unscrupulous contractors. Remember, a successful home renovation is not just about transforming your space, but also about ensuring the process is as smooth and stress-free as possible. In the end, it's all about safeguarding your interests and ensuring a smooth home renovation experience. The protagonist's story serves as a cautionary tale for all homeowners. It highlights the importance of vigilance in home renovation projects. The protagonist's dilemma, a contractor taking advantage of his trust and using his hard-earned money to pay off personal debts, is a scenario we hope none of you ever have to face. However, it's crucial to be prepared for such possibilities. Solutions can be found, such as seeking legal advice, setting firm deadlines, or approaching arbitration. Yet the most effective weapon against such issues is prevention. Always have a written contract, never pay for services or fixtures up front, and always ensure your contractor is licensed and insured. These preventive measures can save you from a lot of trouble. Remember, your home is your sanctuary. Make sure those who help you build it are trustworthy and reliable.